Have you ever received an email or a text that you didn't agree with, and 2 minutes later you find yourself in this war on words going back and forth for the next 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 months? Have you ever considered that it's efficiently and effectively impossible to resolve an issue or a disagreement through the written word? And my third question is, do you really believe the world is in need of any more keyboard warriors who can tap out 100 words a minute, but they don't know how to handle a difficult conversation? I need your help. In fact, I've needed help all my life, but that's another talk. For the past 3 decades, I've coached business owners, their management teams, and their managers. And the one issue that makes it to the list every single month by one of them is communication. I believe we're facing a communication crisis. But understanding that communication crisis is interfering with our ability to connect with each other. My goal today is to enroll all of you into a proven and existing movement that will help us avoid this crisis. Now, with any movement or cause, we need to understand the why. So there's 4 truths that we all need to agree on to understand why this problem exists and why the solution to the problem works. Truth number 1. What's in our nature is usually not good for us. That doesn't make sense because nature seems healthy. But let's pretend that if you ate an apple a day, every day, it would keep the doctor away. You wouldn't get sick if you ate an apple every day. That would be easy to do. The problem is it's easier not to do. The easy thing requires a little bit of discipline. The easier not to doesn't. So I love Dr. Viktor Frankl in his definition of discipline. It's the ability to do the unnatural. It's not natural to brush your teeth every day. It's not natural to make your bed. It's not natural to track your steps and your exercise. It's not natural to what you eat. It's not natural to choose the apple over the manufactured chocolate bar or the manufactured potato chip. So what's in our nature usually isn't good for us. Truth number 2, it's in our nature to be nice and indirect with each other. It's not in our nature to be direct and kind. So what's the difference? Your best friend, Sarah, she comes to you and says, my mom thinks I'm an alcoholic. What do you think? Well, you're her friend. You're not her mom. So you say, hey, Sarah, want another glass of wine? If you're an alcoholic, what does that make me? But you've normalized the conversation. You've made her feel good. That's what friends do. They're nice. Let's say you're a few years older now, more mature. You realize that you want to surround yourself with people who tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So you say, Sarah, I agree with your mom. You're a train wreck when you drink. You become obnoxious, you become loud, you become rude, and I'm embarrassed to be your friend. But here's the thing, I'm your best friend. So if you want to go to a function and not drink, I won't drink. If you want to go to a meeting, I'll go with you. Because I'll support you in any way I can. Kind requires courage. Because when you tell Sarah that, you might be damaging the relationship or it might be ending. That's not up to you. You asked for your opinion, you gave your opinion and your observations. So kind requires courage. The third truth, I need you all to close your eyes. Some of you have sunglasses, I can't tell, but I really need you to close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Promise you won't regret it. I want you to play your favorite movie of all time. What's your favorite movie? So right now you got maybe 3 movies. Pick one. What's your favorite one? Okay, you can open your eyes. I got a whiteboard up here. I got a black pen. I'm writing down all the titles. You just yell me what the title is. I write down your favorite movie. If you're older, Sound of Music, Gone with the Wind. If you're slightly younger, then maybe Forrest Gump or Shawshank Redemption. I just keep writing. I have a whole bunch of movies on my board. I can promise you, every single one of these movies, when it comes to storyline, has one thing in common. You know what that is? Conflict. We love conflict. And the more the conflict, the better the movie. As long as what? What's the condition? As long as we're not involved. You're at your favorite restaurant, your favorite person's sitting across from you at the table, you're having your favorite meal, and this couple next to you is having a major battle, a major argument. Where's your attention? Listening to every word. Until one of the couple stops, sees that you're listening, and says, who do you agree with? Her or me? Now where do you want to be? Exit stage right, head for the hills. And it's interesting because we need conflict. We need conflict and disruption to grow. You can't polish rocks without friction. Every single great thing that we've accomplished as humankind started when one person said, I don't agree. This isn't right. We need to do this. The fourth truth is 40 years ago, right now, 40 years ago, I'm teaching high school. My principal walks into the staff room and he goes, we just bought 60 Macintosh Apple computers. We've entered the information age. I'm a music teacher. I go, information what? Information age, 40 years ago. I hold up here my brand new iPhone's just upgraded. And you know what it can do. I'd rather lose my wallet than lose this phone. It's got my cards on it, my airline tickets, my hotel reservations, my calendar. I go on all day, but I can talk to anybody in real time right now, anywhere in the world. Amazing digital communication device, or maybe device. Go back 40 years. How many Apple Macintosh computers would Alan Brown have had to purchase to equal the computing power of this phone that I hold in my hand with no buttons? Check with AI, I did. Over 25,000. 60 computers, he would have had to go out and purchase 25,000 computers to equate to this. So my thing that I run in my mind is I go, 40 years, have we gotten better or worse at communicating with each other? Amazing communication device. So here's what I want you to do. You ready? I want you to raise your hands if you think over the last 40 years we've gotten worse at communicating with each other. Keep them up, my hand's up. Now look around. You can put your hands down. As technology advances, truth number 4, we get worse at communicating with each other. So truth number 1 was, what's in our nature usually isn't good for us. Truth number 2, it's not in our nature to be kind or nice. Truth number 3, we love conflict as long as we're not involved in it. If we're involved, we try to avoid it. And truth number 4, as this amazing digital technology and communication advances at such an incredible rate, maybe at the same rate we're getting worse at communicating with each other. So, I don't know about you, but I know lots of people, including myself, who have lost friends, damaged relationships with relatives, coworkers, students, and if you go back, you can find a text or an email that shouldn't have been written. My coach, I was talking to him, and he said, my brother and I didn't talk to each other for 2 years. And I could go over all, because of a text that was sent, I could go over some relationships that I've had that hurt deeply, but I'm going to talk to my therapist before I talk to you about it. If we'd be here all day. I mean, this is how bad it is, right? So let's talk about where email and text is good. Let's talk about above the line and below the line. Above the line, this is the most incredible device ever you could imagine. When it comes to confirming, hey, Alex, we agreed to meet at 2 o'clock tomorrow. When it comes to recapping a meeting, yesterday in our TED meeting with the speakers, we did this and we agreed to this. It's great for information. Fernando, can you send me that script of your TED Talk in English? Sends it to me. Or clarifying. Rachel, should I pick up 10 tickets or 15 tickets? It takes 2 seconds. Anything that's neutral or above the line, knock your socks off. Anything that's negative, okay? We're going to criticize somebody. We're going to complain. We're going to tell somebody we don't like something. You will start to feel this. Anything that can be negative will, it doesn't work. So here's the problem in a nutshell. You ready? As communication advances at such an incredible rate, it makes it so easy to avoid the conversations that are critical for us to connect with each other. because it's in our nature to avoid conflict, we either ignore it, we avoid it, or we run to our devices or keyboards to address it. Not good. So when it's below the line, here's 3 reasons why you don't want to use this. You do want to use this in a conversation, but you don't want to write it or text it. Number 1, you don't know if they got it. Dear Sarah, I'm really sorry about what happened last night. I really regret what I said. Can you forgive me? Send. You don't know if it's in cyberspace somewhere. You don't know if it went to her junk email. You don't know if you're using a channel that she hardly looks at. Or the poor people that work with me, you wouldn't believe what gets past me. Because I just take a look at one word and I go, I don't need to read this. It just goes past. I get so much, and so do you every day. So here's what happened. Sarah didn't get the message. You thought she did. You assume she's not going to forgive you. Sarah never got the message. So what could have been a lifelong great relationship just went down the tube because you didn't have the conversation. Number 2, curious is the new superpower. You cannot be arrogant. You cannot be judgmental. And you can't make assumptions, false or otherwise, if you're in a state of curiousness. If we have a conversation and I make a false assumption about you, you can correct me, I can apologize, and we can move on. But if you write something with a false assumption, you might not get that opportunity. And the 3rd reason is tone. Tone. You can't interpret tone through the written word. I had a management team about a month ago. I was telling them about this talk. One of the managers says to the business owner, yeah, whenever you send me a text or email, I think I'm going to be looking for a job on Monday. I think I'm getting fired. And another manager spoke up and said to the business owner, yeah, me too. This business owner felt terrible, had no idea that their texts and emails came with that kind of tone. And by the way, if you're here and you're in a position of authority, exponential chance that it's going to be taken negatively over a normal relationship. So with tone, I could take a note. I could write 2 words on it. Nice dress. I take the piece of paper, I pass it to you. Is that positive or negative? Depends on tone. Nice dress. Or, nice dress. The same 2 words. And do you think we assume tone as positive or negative? What do you think our go-to is? So, this is the reason we should stay, if it's below the bar, away from text and email. Now, here's a solution. My friend Walt Brown, he's from North Carolina. Having a drink with Walt a couple of months ago, I'm telling him about this talk. Walt's a man of few words and very intelligent. He goes, Kev, go verbal. That's the movement. The movement already existed, but I love that title, Go Verbal. That's what he said. And I was like, wow. Now, here's the thing. Where you can get into trouble is somebody sends you a nasty email or text and you go, well, they started it. Remember in elementary school, who started this fight? They started it, so I had the right to punch back or hit back or whatever. That's not the excuse. If you're going to join this movement, you're a leader. You look to the future and you do what's right. You stop this vicious back and forth, this circle, by having a conversation. Somebody said to me yesterday, what if they're not picking up? You just email them or text them and say, I'm not continuing this conversation until we get on the phone. Because you can only yourself. All right. And the second thing, don't use me as a role model. It only was a few years ago that I knew my whole life I'm flawed. I'm a very flawed individual. But I only realized a few years ago, we all are. We are all fighting with stuff. We're all flawed. So I find myself, and I'm writing an email, and I'm talking to you right now, and I'm even a month ago writing this email, going, Kev, you shouldn't be writing this email. It's below the line. So I stop. But sometimes still, I push send, and I regret it. I walk away saying, you, Kevin Armstrong, are an undisciplined coward. You're afraid to have the conversation, and you go around and speak on this stuff. Awful. I feel so terrible. The solution to this is the Go Verbal movement. The Go Verbal movement means you're a leader who's going to join this movement, and from now on, When you go back to your organization, go back to your school, go back to your friends, go back to your wherever school as a teacher, you're going to stop this. Rick Boats is one of my clients. He owns Unitech Construction. And I was talking to him about 7 years ago. He took this back and he called it the one bounce back rule. But he didn't go back and write a policy. He went back and he got his management team to be the change. And they implemented that. And since then, a lot of business owners have gone back and implemented this organization. So if a customer writes to you and says this, and you write back and they say, no, that wasn't what we said, you pick up the phone. You pick up the freaking phone. So the one bounce back movement is simply this. You're agreeing to join this. Whenever it's below the line, you're not going to use text or email. So I'm going to ask you, raise your hands if you're willing to join the one bounce back movement. Wow, you made my day. Thank you very much. Mucho gracias. Thank you.